What's up, everybody? Happy Monday. This is Nick the Comic Nerd, and I'm doing Nick's Nerd Word, episode 25. Very excited to do episode 25. Feels like a little bit of a milestone. Um, from skipping a couple weeks, I could have been here about a month ago, probably, but here we are. And I know it's Monday, so here's gonna be my new thing. I'm gonna do Nick's Nerd Word on Mondays from now on. Sundays is just tough because if I'm working, sometimes it's 2 shifts. If I'm not working, I'm always busy with family or doing some kind of an event. So this is how we're going to do it from now on. We are still going to do the giveaways as usual. So if you're in here and you're watching it live, all you got to do is comment and you're entered into the giveaway. Or you just have to watch this video and comment down below also. Just leave a comment and you get entered into the giveaway. So the prizes have been pretty fun, I think. I'm adding to the prize box tomorrow because now it's going to happen is my random video of the week is going to be on Tuesdays. So that's the way we're going to do this. But that's Cruises. What's up, brother? So we're going to go through what I read this week. Decent stack of books. I'm going to read more this week. Obviously, I've got a couple of overnights at work, so I have some time to read, hopefully, on them. Roscoe, what's up, dude? I got to remember to enter you guys into the giveaways live because sometimes I forget, and then I think I forgot somebody one time, and it wasn't cool. I felt bad. That's Crucis, Roscoe, Larry. What's up, Larry? I actually woke up like 10 minutes ago, guys. It's 2:30. I have 2 shifts tonight, so I'm trying to stay alive and do it. So let's break down these books. Let me know if you've read any of these. Some real disappointers and some real good books. So just to show you guys what I read from my back issues. Try to move some stuff around here. I read Batman and Spawn. I believe this was the first crossover by Frank Miller and Todd McFarlane. This sucked. I'm being honest. This was not good. It was the dialogue was really weird. The wording every time they kept talking to each other, like Batman kept calling Spawn boy, like really kind of out there stuff, and I was not expecting that. The story all along wasn't great. The main villain wasn't great. There were a couple of really cool pages. I'll show you one of the pages I actually really liked, because that's kind of the only thing that held me in. But this was not good. This one's on the hunt after showing Mighty Mouse the cover, the homage cover. And to be honest, when I showed it backstage as a joke, Cali Comics wrote to me like, dude, that book sucked. And he wasn't wrong. So the cover is great, though. That was one of the only good pages. Is the 2 of them alongside each other. I think there was one more decent page. Oh, the final page is Spawn eating a Batarang. So it was just like Batman joking around. I'm like, I don't know. I've just never seen a joking around Batman, I guess. So this was very not good. Not a fan. It's okay. It happens, obviously. We don't love everything we read, unfortunately. But then I read Spider-Man Unlimited #1, the Maximum Carnage start. So this is the first story from Maximum Carnage. This was good. This was actually really good. So it's basically Carnage, Cletus Cassidy breaks out of jail. He finds Screech on the way out, which is super cool, which makes me want to actually read the rest of this. Trev, what's up, dude? And then they find like the tarantula-looking Spider-Man suit guy. This really opens up with Peter like at Harry Osborn's funeral. I don't remember how Harry dies in the original, but Peter talks a lot about it being his fault and how Harry became the Green Goblin and this and that. So, Mark, what's up, dude? So it was a good read. I enjoyed it. I don't love reading Spider-Man, but I did enjoy this very much. It was cool reading a few older issues of books, to be honest. It's been a long time. This was cool because Peter makes MJ a promise and he says to her, like, look, for 1 or 2 weeks, I'm not going to be Spider-Man. And the next thing you know, Carnage shows up. And, well, he actually doesn't fight Carnage. He fights Screech. And the other... Kyle, what's going on, man? And he fights Superior Spider-Man. Thank you. He ends up fighting the Superior Spider-Man. and the doppelganger Spider-Man. That's what they kept calling it. And yeah, it was good. Like their fighting is good. Peter like lets his head down for a minute, gives everybody a chance to fight back. It gets pretty wild, and he starts losing the fight. But of course, MJ sees the news, and that's kind of where it ends. And Peter realizes he's thinking it's like Venom, and then he sees it's Carnage, and so the whole thing turns around. Like I said, I would love to read the whole thing in trade. That's gonna be my goal. Maybe when I go to the LCS this week, because I'll see if they have Spider-Man Unlimited 1. But I liked it. I liked it a lot more than Batman vs. 1, because that, I mean, if you missed what I said about that, that sucked. The last like real back issue I read was Werewolf by Night 25. This was super cool. I've always been a fan of Werewolf by Night. Always loved having random issues. This was a good one. This was a quick one. Basically, Terry ends up getting caught, and he turns back into himself, and somebody else is there who also turns into a monster. And it's kind of about how they go back and forth. And he gets a couple of weeks off as the werewolf and like kind of gets to regain his strength, which was super cool. But he knows that like another full moon is coming, and he knows he's going to become the werewolf again. So it was kind of a quick read. I actually expected that even when I hold this, it feels really light. So it felt like a quick read for an older book, but wasn't against it. Perry, what's up, dude? But yeah, so I thought my older reads were good this week. I only got to 3 of them, so unfortunately. 22, what's up? Let me mute my phone because it just will not stop going off now. But and then on to a couple of newer books. So this was from last week. This is Peacemaker Tries Hard number 5. Another great issue. I've got to say, you guys, like this is one of the better DC books out there. I love the whole Peacemaker gig. I say it all the time that I love John Cena, and I will not stop saying it. But this was so good. So him and the Bee are trying to go in and capture Bruce Wayne, their little dog, as well as fighting the Brain. There's a lot of joking around at the start of this, and Peacemaker asks Daniel, "What's up, dude?" Peacemaker goes through, and he's like, I'm sorry, the Bee asks him, like, "Oh, did you ever have like the birds and the bees talk?" And Peacemaker has no clue what he's talking about. He's joking around, talking about like honey and all this stuff. Like he's got no idea, and it's hilarious. And they start fighting, and he's like, "We're gonna have to have the birds and the bees talked." And then Peacemaker makes a joke, and this was kind of a cool little like side note. He ends up saying how, like, why aren't you called the Wasp? That's such a cooler, tougher name. And he said, well, bees, when they sting people, they make the ultimate sacrifice and they die. Like, what's cooler than that? Or like, what's tougher than that? So I thought that was actually really neat. And I think that leads to the possibility that the Red Bee is going to die pretty soon or in the final issue. Because I don't remember how many issues this is going, but I don't think it said it's the end of it all. So Ryan Riley, what's up, man? What's going on? Who dat? What's up? Thanks for stopping by, dude. So this is cool. So they end up going through the lab, and the Brain takes part of his body because he's trying to clone himself, and he puts himself in the body of a bunch of baby Deathstrokes. And there's like a teenage Deathstroke who's like going through puberty. It's a whole to-do. It was really funny. So they have to fight all the baby Deathstrokes, and then they talk to the teenage Deathstroke and basically like talk her out of fighting them instead. And it was kind of a cool little thing. The next thing you know, they finally get to Brain, and he becomes this new character named Chemo. It's like a giant blob. And I think the whole concept is that it's supposed to like spread and kill everybody. So that was fantastic. There has not been a bad issue of Peacemaker Tries Hard. I have to say, you guys got to check out Peacemaker Tries Hard. It's so good. As well as this story that I love. I am only reading the main run of this, but if you guys are into Star Wars and the little side stories, and I've been complaining about the side stories a lot, I know that. But Dark Droids has been fantastic. So Dark Droids is the story where there was this little robot. He was like a flying saucer looking thing, really small. And he linked up to one droid. And he took over it. Then he linked up to another droid, then another droid. So he's spreading out all over the galaxy, basically. What happens is the droid realizes that they want more than just metal. They want flesh. So when you read it, it says, first it comes for the metal. This is the story where they're taking stormtroopers and holding them hostage, and they're basically like vampiring them, trying to suck the blood out of them, but it kills the stormtroopers, which is wild. Like, they don't realize, like, they're just murdering everybody. These droids are taking over. C-3PO runs into Luke, and C-3PO at the end of the first issue became a dark droid. And he runs into Luke and he asks him about his arm because he already went through his battle with Darth Vader. And he said, do you know if any droids have ever used the Force? And Luke goes, well, not that I know of. I know of people with like people like me can use the Force, but I'm human and I have this metal arm, basically. And Luke starts getting really suspicious because the questions keep coming along, and C-3PO does not talk the way that he talks, so gets a little wild. And the next thing you know, one of the droids sees Darth Vader. And when you're looking at Darth Vader from the outside, you think, oh, he could be all droid, and he could have all the power, and he's got the Force. So it's set. Last page, I'll show you guys, is them sitting there talking to or looking at Darth Vader. It says, like, my path is clear. And there he is. So we're going to see if Darth Vader is going to count as metal or flesh when these droids go after him. And pretty dark and twisted. I think it's going to be really good. I'm excited to see issue number 3. Again, I'm not reading all the side issue stuff. Like, I'm reading Darth Vader and Bounty Hunters, but that's it. Outside of the main line of Dark Droids, because there's just a lot of Star Wars stories for me to go through for it. From this week, I only read 2 books so far. I'm going to read a couple more tonight. But I read Cyborg, number 3. I'm very happy the Dawn of DC stuff is back. I love Night Terrors. I'm very excited to have this stuff back. Should be great. It'll be nice to be back into like a normal comic flow. Getting more books, obviously, is pretty cool. So Cyborg 3 was good. So he talks to his robot dad, which is weird. And his dad explains to him like, oh, Solace ended up coming with the idea of letting people live forever. And the only way to do that was to put them into basically like a coding complex, as you can see in these. So he's talking through it and he's saying how because they were in a computer, the computer like figured it out and they wouldn't let anyone leave. So while you're in there, if you can't leave, you get punished. And basically like it just said zap and that person would fall down. So you had to always be working if you were inside the computer. The only reason that Silas made it out was because somebody else sacrificed trying to get out, and he did instead. So, but then they end up fighting this character. This is Atlas. Apparently, it's an old enemy of Cyborg's, and Cyborg smokes him, kicks the crap out of him. I actually just read this morning, to be honest, too. But Cyborg then starts to after fighting Atlas, he's talking to Silas, and in his head is still his dad, Silas, and Silas is like, you've got to get out of there, you've got to leave because something bad's going to happen. And he starts having the clones start beating himself up, not Cyborg, Silas, and he ends up making it look like Cyborg's going to do it. So Cyborg goes, I know what I have to do. And I believe that this is the only part that confused me. I don't think this is Cyborg. I think this is Silas. But he's releasing a bigger version that looks like Cyborg of himself. Maybe that is Cyborg. I think I'm going to find out in issue 4 because, like I said, that kind of threw me for a loop. I wasn't exactly expecting it. So, but it was good. I'm excited to read issue number 4. I'm not going to drop Cyborg yet. There were a few like side Titan stories that I didn't dive into. Like I never dove into that Raven story, but I'm glad I dove into Cyborg. And last but not least, my read of the week. This was awesome. Awesome. So I remember when I did my Knicks picks that I forgot if I had read Superman. Then I was like, wait, duh, I read Superman because that's the whole Supercorp story going on. So Superman number 6. This was excellent for a million different reasons. So Lex Luthor got attacked in his cell. And Superman basically blames himself. On top of it, they end up finding out, him and the girl that works for Lex Luthor, who never knows the answers to anything, by the way. And Superman is like kind of picking up on that, but at the same time, I think it's harmless. I think she truly doesn't know. They find out that Lex once had a prison. And of course, it's like a dark prison. And he goes and says, I want to know where this is. I want to find it because there's still one prisoner down there. And yes, sir. So they go through and they end up going through I can't remember what it's called really quick. Hold on a second. This prisoner is being held in the Phantom Zone. Yeah, Mercy is like useless, but not like it's really weird. It's like really hard to kind of catch her vibe. But they go into the Phantom Zone, and there's this character sitting there who is totally chained to the ground, basically sitting on his knees. And Superman is like, I'm going to release you. So he brings Mercy with him, and they go in, and he releases the chains from this person. And the next thing you know is the person gets up, and he wants to fight. And Superman is like, do not do this. And how this ends is Lex starts waking up and says, Superman, what have you done? What's up, Shop? And on top of it, the guy that Superman releases from these chains says the only way to free me is somebody else has to be down here. And Superman ends up chained in this Phantom Zone prison, and the only person who can save him is Lex, and he's waking up, but now this other villain is out there, so it's not like Lex can just go save Superman, but Lex knows something is wrong. Super good. Really, really good. My jaw dropped reading this. Just another reason I was super excited to have the Dawn of DC stuff back. So that's what I've got for you guys today. So I'll show you the books I read real quick one more time, but it was a good book week of reads. I'm going to try and get a lot more done. Sucked. This was good. I want to read more. This was good. I would love to get a trade for Werewolf by Night. Probably will one day. Maybe I'll do that for the next free comic day. Great as usual. Great. Couching and slouching with C Bizzle. What's up? The prison was designed to hold anyone in it based on their own abilities as well. The more you fight, the more you stay. That's wild. Very, very cool. I'm telling you guys, Superman is where it's at. I'm glad I dove into a lot of this Dawn of DC stuff. Fantastic. I didn't read the new Daredevil story. This might be the best Marvel book out there right now for me. I'm not going to say it yet, but I haven't read a lot of Marvel recently either. So Cyborg was good. Going to read issue number 4. And last but not least, Superman, fantastic as usual. So remember, thank you to the 11 or 12 of you who popped in here on a Monday afternoon to check out this video. I super appreciate it. You are all entered into the giveaway. Again, tomorrow I'm going to do a PC Survivors. And the books that don't make it and stay in my PC are going to end up in the giveaway box. So tomorrow, check that out. And then Thursday, for New Comic Book Day, I will do the video where everybody ends up in the giveaway. And then we'll do the drawing, and that's it. So these giveaways have been fun. Again, my schedule is changing. No more Sundays. There's just way too much stuff going on. Monday will be Nick's Nerd Word. Tuesday will be a random video. Thursday will be New Comic Book Day. That's it. Right? I think that's it. All right. Thank you guys all again for hanging out. I appreciate you. I hope you all enjoy your Monday. I hope it's not raining like hell like it has been in New York here for the last 3 or 4 days, because it sucks. But I got to get dressed for work. I hope you all stay safe. Enjoy your comics.